Hey, buddy.
Hey, hello, Kelley.
How you doing?
I'm excellent on this 101st episode.
101st episode.
Now we get into the real stuff, y'all.
Yep, that was all just practice.
We've
Basically dry runs.
got soundboards. No, we don't.
I mean, it really would be hard for us to include that if we wanted it.
I try not to be a caricature of myself and be like, that's the Nathanist thing that Nathan has proposed or said. But like falling into like an Always Sunny style, just like introducing lasers and dumb. It's definitely the gravity that I keep falling towards.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I kind of, not all the time, but a lot of time, I'm kind of like trying to make a caricature out of myself. Take myself to that.
We're going in opposite directions.
I'm leaning into being a silly bitch.
I guess that makes sense. I guess I should be doing that more. Because it is like a, not inauthentic is like a negative thing, but just as a category, because we are hiding a significant amount of darkness from the world. Darkness.
Yeah. What's
Like
going on?
Good. Like, I think it needs to be pointed out that things like,
No, keep going.
That things like Trump went on Joe Rogan and talked for 3 hours needs to be pointed out and like to make like a joke about that. But then like the rest of that conversation just gets so dark and so angry so fast.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that?
Not me.
Yes, me neither.
Especially since I've already had my share of political conversation and thought for the day.
Politicking? That's crazy. It's only 9:30. Kelly, what happened?
I had made a plan since... Okay, so we'll back it up a little.
Beep. Soundboard. Need a soundboard.
I promise I'll have one next time. I might have one before the end of the show.
That's 3 buttons already. Lasers, farts, truck backing up.
As soon as I get done telling this little story and you start telling a story, I'll find us one.
Right.
But, so, okay. What days? Okay, so Tuesday, I think it was. Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday?
I think it was Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday.
Wednesday?
Jeremy and I had planned to go vote together on our lunch break.
Oh, yeah.
And so yeah, that was the plan. Tuesday about 11:15, we leave here and go to our closest polling location, which is at the Pflugerville Rock Gym.
The Rock Gym. Historic Rock Gym.
Which, it's funny to me because when I first heard that was the name of it, I thought it was like a rock climbing gym.
As one does, yeah.
But then it turns out it's just a really old gym made out of rocks.
Classic Texas.
Yeah. Which still kind of blows my mind. Like every time I hear rock gym, and I'm like, I have to reprocess. No, it's not a climbing gym. It's just a really old building made of rocks.
Made of rocks. Folks did that and they were like, that's the Rock Gym.
Yeah. But anyway, so we go there, and we get there, and the line is quite lengthy. But on the tracking page, it was talking about, I think when we left the house, it was saying it would take 20 to 40 minutes, or maybe 30 to 50, or something in that range. And so we got there at 11:30, and I had a meeting where I was presenting to 20 people at 1 p.m.
And when did you leave?
Left here at 11:15.
Okay, wow, yeah.
And then we were parked and in line, because the parking situation there, especially when it's busy, is a little...
It's not great.
It's not great.
There's the parking lot, which is, I don't know, half the size of an elementary school's, which is weird because there's the Rock Gym on one side of the parking lot and then a school or some sort of law enforcement resource building on the other side. It's not a unpopular place outside of election time, but that fills up, and then there's a grass field.
The overflow.
Yeah.
That used to be the old football field or something.
Yeah. Where I think I've talked about this before. They keep the score of the last football game that was played there on the boards.
On the scoreboard that looks like it was made in 1883.
Which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's chaos in that grass park.
Yeah. So By the time we got parked in line, it was 11:30, and just waiting, moving through the line, and at that point, like, there's no coverage, like, there's no shade. You're just in the sun. And it was like mid-80s, but with being in the sun, it was getting pretty unbearable. Like, when we pulled up, there was an ambulance and a fire truck there tending to someone who passed out in the line. And at one point, one of the election officials or whatever came out with like a megaphone and was like telling everybody what's up and what to expect, yada yada, and also to like don't faint because they've already had to call 911 twice that morning.
Yeah.
Or that day.
Don't even think about fainting.
Yeah. So we're waiting, and time just keeps ticking, and so the line is out the door, like, and around the building and whatnot. It takes us about 55 minutes to get inside the building, and at that point, it's like 12:25.
Yeah.
And I have my meeting at 1 coming up. And even once you get inside, then they have like the line serpentining back and forth. So there's like a ton of people. And when we first got in there, I counted there was like maybe 50 or 60 people ahead of us still. So I'm waiting and just hoping. And I'm like running math in my head, like number of people checking people in versus the number of people in front of me. And if it was to take 1 minute to check everybody in, like a full 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Am I going to be able to get through the line and get out in time? And the whole, this also sucks because Jared and I were actually planning on getting lunch afterwards and taking it home.
Yeah.
So I was hungry already too. And time just keeps getting closer and closer, and then by about 12:40, there were 10 people in front of us.
Yeah, you gotta leave.
But it's gonna take me at least probably 15 minutes to get home, and then I gotta like get my head straight to present to 20 people.
Yeah.
So at that point, Jer was committed to staying. He wasn't gonna leave.
Yeah.
But we took his car, but he let me take his car home, and then he Ubered back here afterward. But then, so I'm just like so close, and like I exit the building, and people are like, "Thank you for voting," and I'm like, I didn't even get to, but whatever. And then it took me a good like 5 minutes to get out of the parking lot.
That's the thing. It can take you 15 minutes to get out of the parking lot.
If the way that overflow parking lot is set up, there's not enough room for a car to enter and exit at the same time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that was a whole ordeal, but I finally get out. I get home with like 5 minutes to spare before my meeting.
Yeah.
And then I had my meeting, which that went well, but at the same time, just a long, wasted afternoon, getting so close to voting, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I was talking to my brother, and my brother was like really not planning on voting. He just didn't want to go wait in line anywhere, and he just whatever, doesn't think it matters.
Yeah, dime him out.
But I was like, I'd already made sure my dad was voting this year. Like I got him set up with a mail-in ballot because he's old and handicapped and stuff, and we got that all done and sent off. So, and then I was like, I'm gonna make my brother vote. So I was like talking to him about it yesterday, and I was like, he was telling me he just doesn't want to. Like lines were his biggest thing. I was like, well, let's go just first thing in the morning tomorrow. They open at 7. I said if we make it there a little before 7:30. I'm sure we'll be in and out in seconds, and then we did it. So he gets here at like 7:15 this morning, and I don't want to go into too much because we have another thing to talk about that happened yesterday that kind of leads me into the issues I'm facing today.
Yeah, we're doing time backwards.
Yeah. But last night, stayed up way too late, had too many adult beverages, and then I had to wake up at like 6:30 today to be ready to go vote super early. And it definitely, like, I haven't felt this in, like, a while. Like, I remember there used to be a time, like, back in my early 20s and stuff, when I worked at Red Lobster, this would be the norm. This would be every day.
Oof.
And I just just push through it. But now it's just like, I don't even feel bad. I just have like negative energy.
Yeah.
Like every word I say, like keeping my eyes open, everything is just like I'm drawing from future Kelley to get that energy to power me through right now. Like
other Kelleys in other dimensions.
Yeah, like
they're taking naps and they don't know why.
Yeah, they're pissed off. So, but I got up because I promised we would do it, and I knew that like if I didn't make my brother go and we didn't go together, he wasn't gonna go. So I was like, we gotta do this. So I get up and like I barely know like left from right and up and from down, and I'm just like glad we've lived here long enough where I can literally navigate the house with my eyes closed, even the stairs.
It sounds like you're gonna end up voting for Hugo Chavez.
I don't know about that. But then my brother gets here, and of course I have to drive because he hates driving, and
even though he drove here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and to be completely honest, I really probably shouldn't have been driving. But it was still probably safer than my brother.
Okay.
But I'm real glad we didn't get pulled over. So anyway, we drive. We get to. We're planning to go to the Rock Gym because I like that place. I voted there before for the last presidential election.
Have you used that Travis County Maps thing that shows you what's green and what's yellow?
But I mean, again, this morning I was just so out of it. And my brother, I was like putting everything on him, and that was just the plan already. So we were doing it. We get there about 7:25. It took us about 10 minutes to get there, and so they've been open for 25 minutes. The line was just as long as it was when Jared and I went to go vote on Tuesday afternoon.
Yep.
Like literally, like where we would have gotten out and gotten in line was basically where we got in line.
Yeah.
So that was going to be another hour plus scenario, and my brother was just not having it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "You want to bail then?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing this." Mm-hmm. And then I was like, well, let's look at the wait times for other locations.
Yes, please. Good.
So we pulled over, and he looked it up, and he found one place that was, what was it called? Maybe, I felt like he said it was the Round Rock Performing Arts Center.
Okay.
But I don't feel like we were in Round Rock at all.
It was just like very far south Round Rock?
Yeah, southwest. Like,
yeah.
It was Wells Branch Parkway, west of Mopac.
Interesting. Yeah, that should be Pflugerville, I guess. But yeah, so the one on Wells Branch, like in between Mopac and 35.
No, on the other side, on the west side of Mopac.
Even further?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, yeah, maybe that's Round Rock, I guess.
So I don't know. Again, this morning's been pretty in and out for me.
Yeah.
But he finds that place. He said GPS said it was 13 minutes away, and it said it was green.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, we've already committed. I already got up. I feel like absolute ass. I'm gonna accomplish my mission today, come hell or high water. So drive that way. Easy drive. It really took about 13 minutes to get there. Pull up. Zero line outside.
Yeah.
So we park. We go inside, and there's 3 people checking people in and giving them their things to insert into the voting machines. And there was someone at each one of those. But other than that, we were the next ones in the line when we walked in.
Yeah.
So we literally waited a good 45 seconds to then go give them my license. They're like, hey, thanks for coming to vote. Are you familiar with these machines? Yep. You're familiar with voting? Yep. Okay, here's your thing. Go to the machine. And it was also funny because I was barely saying words this morning. Like, again, just keeping my eyes open was a thing. But then, walking into that building, I was like, okay, we got to look like a functioning human being right now. So I just remember thinking, like, my little interaction with the lady that was doing the stuff. I was like, if you only knew how I was really feeling right now. But I put on my charming Kelley self.
You code switched hard.
I mean, I can charm with the best of them. And I get in the booth and I'm like, okay, game time, focus. I had a little cheat sheet that I was looking at as we were walking in, trying to remember everybody.
Yeah.
Everything I wanted to and not vote for. And I just went through it, made sure everything was good. Was in and out. Like, literally from the time we got out of the car to getting back in the car was 5 minutes, maybe.
That's how it should be, yeah.
So,
on the Travis County map of, like, the green, yellow, red, when you look at it, like, where we live is on the top top right, the northeast corner of Travis County. And we've got Typhoon, Texas, and we've got the Rock Gym, like... Bless you. Great sneezes, Kelley.
Yeah, I have a sneeze for all occasions.
We've got 2 locations that are like in what people typically think of as Pflugerville.
Yeah.
And they're always like yellow to red, and there's space between them, like mile between the 2 of them. You can see it on the map, but then the rest of Travis County is just like a hive of green spots that overlap each other. They're so close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was ridiculous. Like, I don't know why all those people were so committing to go to the Rock Gym. Like, I guarantee you, like, the time it took to leave the Rock Gym, get to the other place, vote, get back to my brother's place, and then come back home to my place was less than it took for them to get through that line.
Yeah, we'll probably vote where you voted, or just whatever green place is closest.
I mean, I think the place I went is going to be the play, because it seemed out in the middle of nowhere. Like, there was not much at all around.
That's where, like, the Amazon return facility is. It's just, like, fields and, like, giant industrial park, yeah.
But yeah, that was so much better than waiting. So, again, got it done. My civic duty is done. I can now just forget about it, because there's nothing I can do about it.
Forget about it. And you got your brother.
And I got my brother, and I got my dad. So that's I got 2 people extra to the polls this year that wouldn't have been there without me. So
I sure hope my brothers vote. Brothers.
Yeah. So yeah, that brings us to where we're at right now, and I guess me having to talk and stuff is kind of starting to wake me up. Plus, I had a granola bar once I got back, which is really kind of
snap.
Helped me get going a little bit, but still gonna be dragging ass all day.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's Saturday.
Yeah. Me too, a little bit, I guess. We hung out last night. We'll get into it. Ash and I got home, after the end of the Rockets game that started at 7. So, 10:30? I don't know when we got home. But then Ash still had to shower because she did, like, her day of work. And then we ate dinner and then we came over. So, she did that. We got distracted by something on the computer. But we've been watching scary stuff. Or, Halloween stuff. And we started that Agatha... I made up a dumb name for the show, so now I can't remember what the real name is. Agatha Always, Agatha Forever, Agatha. And within the first, 10 minutes of the show, because we have not kept up with all the Marvel stuff at all, within the first 10 minutes of the show, they're like, this thing happened. I don't want to spoil it because the show's still coming out, but presumably everybody else that is in Marvel knows these things that Ash and I didn't. This very important person is gone, is no longer on this mortal plane, and we're like, what? But we watched all the episodes of Agatha whatever that are out, and then we ran out of them and they're still coming out, so we're like, I guess we can go back and watch that Doctor Strange and the terrifying multiverse, whatever it's called. And that's a 2-hour-ish movie, if not more. So we were watching it in 40-minute chunks, and Ash goes to take her shower, and it's already like 11:45. Like we didn't start watching the end, like the last 40 minutes of Doctor Strange until past midnight. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a nightcap. I'm just gonna have me a little drink. And I made I've been drinking this a lot. Either the peanut butter whiskey or the birthday whiskey, birthday cake whiskey, and then Bailey's on top. And it's just like alcohol. But the Bailey's makes it so drinkable.
Yeah.
So I had like a glass, I don't know. I mean, 4 fingers easily of like 3 whiskey, 1 Bailey's, and, ice. And just drank that over the 40 minutes. And by the end of it, I was like, yeah, that was a whole drink. And I kept tossing and turning and like waking up. Ash and I are going to Houston today. Do a little family thing, just a little fun day trip for us. And you know how Ash needs her sleep. And we already stayed up. I mean, it's not late for her, but she's used to like, I'm putting my head down at 10:30. She gets like 3-4 hours of video games, depending on how late I make her stay up. And we just both stayed up late. I'm sure she stayed up later than I did. And I'm waking up at like, we started this at 9:30. I'm waking up at like 5:30. It's 7. At 8:15. And then I was going to wake up at 8:30. And I was like, well, I'm not going to wake up in 15 minutes. So I slept until 9. And then I texted you at like 9:13. Because we said last night, it was like 9:30 with an option to do later, depending on how your voting adventure went.
Mm-hmm.
And texted you at 9:15, and then we got here. But yeah, it definitely sounds like your after effects were worse than mine. But I also had just like in high amount of alcohol, like super duper late, like right before I went to sleep for no particularly good reason. Mm-hmm. But I think I'm the better for it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Last night.
Yep.
Good amount of fun. Fulfilled our friend group tradition of the carving of the jack-o'-lanterns.
Yep.
Plenty of great photos out of that. We watched the Rockets win their first game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
In their second game of the season. Who'd they beat?
The
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies?
Yeah, Santi Aldama was out there. Yeah. Good on us. Oh yeah, Ja Morant. Stepped on that guy a few times. But yeah, that's good. I'm glad that we got to see the Rockets win. And then I thought that we would be watching like Halloween or some kind of Halloween themed programming the whole time, but I think we're all pretty engrossed in our jack-o'-lanterns.
Mm-hmm.
Many times we remarked that we've all reached a level of proficiency and experience that we're reaching brave new heights in jack-o'-lantern making technology, but then also just processes and systems. Everybody pretty much jumped to cutting the top of the jack-o'-lantern off and taking the guts out first. I had kind of a advanced, sophisticated, some might say next level, some might say a higher tier art project. It's me being silly. So I just went straight to drawing and was so into that when I looked up, 4 pumpkins, 1 table. We've made some messes before. It's been pretty sloppy before.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked up and there were no guts anywhere. And I was like, what has happened? Because I specifically always get like a kind of big pumpkin and always make a lot of guts, and there were no guts. And I was like, what did I miss? But everybody just, in ingenuity, I don't think anybody said anything as a plan. I think it just started happening. Just started going over the trash can, emptying the guts directly into the trash can.
Mm-hmm.
And that was cool. Because usually we put butcher paper down or something down every time so we can just pick up all the guts at once and throw them away. And I was momentarily terrified that everybody had reached a new level of like sanitation and cleanliness that I was like miles behind.
No, I mean, I think I kind of kicked that off because, again, yesterday too, like, I was just already super tired. Like, work has been real busy for me, and like, I guess I haven't had a job in a while now where like I had to, for a legit like at least 7 hours of the day, like be real focused and like constantly doing stuff. And that's like kind of making me really tired. I guess I'm still got to get back into doing that.
Yeah.
So, and then you guys got over here pretty late last night already. Or last night. So I was just like, I just wanted to knock out my pumpkin as quickly as I could so I just could be done with it and I could just chill. Because I was just exhausted. So I'd already thought of what I was going to do. I was trying to think of something really simple to do, but like still something new that I haven't really done before. A little new like technique. Just trying it out. And so as soon as we started with the pumpkins, I was like, I saw all y'all like looking at your pumpkins and maybe thinking about starting to draw and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go into the kitchen real quick, rip my top off, get all the guts out, and just pour them straight in the trash can. And then just get over the table and get right to work. And I also thought that, like, because we always use, like, this one particular kind of knife to take the tops off, that it's always, like, kind of wait until it's available. So I was like, I'm just going to get it first. Like, I don't want anybody slowing me down on this carving project. So I did that, and then I think, like, Ash came right behind me and did it, and then Jared came right behind her and did it. But yeah, that's kind of how that played out. But yeah, your pumpkin was really good. I think you won the pumpkins this year.
For real?
Yeah.
Cool. I like yours.
If I would have put a little more effort into mine, I think I could have like competed. But again, it was more kind of just I wanted to knock something out fast, and it was like more of a proof of concept than. It's not one I'm like gonna post on socials.
I don't think we've done anything like that before. Have we?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like it was different enough, but it wasn't like last year when I did that really intricate puppy face.
Yeah. That
I was just really proud of, or when I did my Randy Marsh, which I was real proud of.
Right.
So maybe next year I'll do something really good. But like for me to do like get really into it and want to spend a lot of time at it, I can't start at 8 o'clock at night. Like it needs to be like an afternoon thing for me. So I have plenty of time to take my time, do the right things, don't mess up. But yeah, I definitely think you won the pumpkins.
Sweet.
Although I will say Ash's came out a lot better than. I'm not going to say that I thought it would because she's good at making. Like we've done it now for well over a decade.
Yeah.
Like I think that I was trying to remember last night when, and I know like every other year we probably talk about this. Like when the first time we did pumpkins as a group together, and like when it became a normal thing, a yearly thing, and I'm thinking the Spansion
checks out
was the first time, and that was what, like 2008. So what's that, like 16 years? Yeah. 16 pumpkins each at least. I've done more than one during the season before. Yeah. I haven't, well, I guess technically it's Jared's, but I might do another pumpkin before, just depending on how I feel and if I want to go out and get it. If there's any quality ones left, because they're all getting bought. But yeah.
My pumpkin, I always get a little teased for having a ridiculously large pumpkin. And I tried to get like on the smaller end. Like I'm at Costco all the time. And Costco had pumpkins and they're all huge. And immediately I was like, great, we're getting our pumpkins at Costco. But then I was like, no, this is exactly what I get grief over. Bringing one of these pumpkins would just be ridiculous. So stopped at HEB and got what I thought was a pumpkin on the smaller end. And by reports is a pumpkin on the smaller end for me.
Yeah.
But it's definitely just the biggest pumpkin.
Yeah, you always have the biggest pumpkins. I mean, honestly, like, I wouldn't mind doing bigger pumpkins, but I need more time to work it because it's just going to be a bigger design. And I already knew that, like, the day we planned on getting together and doing it, that I wasn't going to be in a place where I'd want to spend that much time.
Yeah. But
I've said this multiple years in a row, I think, but I really want next year, like, I want to do something really kind of, like, more big and intricate, and I almost want to get, like, a Dremel set, so I can, like, get real intricate with it. But
do you remember when we got the putty tools? The wood handle, especially for, like, taking off the skin, but not actually taking out the...
Oh, yeah.
Do you know how many years you've had those? I feel like that really upped the skills available.
It hasn't been long.
No, I don't think so.
I think it's been since we've been up north.
Yeah. My stuff's gotten crazier and crazier since then.
Yeah.
Power tools could just take it to a whole nother level.
I mean, and it'd be so fast, too. It'd be a lot more precise.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've looked them up before, and you can get a Dremel, like a cheap Dremel set for like $30. So,
nice.
if I could get 3 years of pumpkins out of it, I'd count that as worth it.
Nice.
So, we'll just have to see when we plan to do it next year and everything. Or if we even should do it next year, because I did read that apparently people carving pumpkins is real bad for the environment.
Why? Because otherwise we'd be making all the pumpkins?
I think just, like, the impact it takes to grow all the pumpkins, and the fact that they're not used for, like, they're not eating pumpkins, they're just only used for carving and displaying, and, like, the amount of land that has to be used, and the water, and the fertilizers or whatever, pesticides, like, just the fact that we're spending all those resources for something that does nothing to, like, good for you.
I bet this is like
I don't
when...
know. It was a real woke, like, article that I was reading, and I was like, I don't know about this. Because I know someone who's vegan, and I just asked them recently, is it, like, are vegans allowed to carve pumpkins, or is that, like, murdering an animal or something?
What did they say?
They said it was kind of borderline, but it was okay.
Silly. I bet that argument, if you followed it to the source, is probably from big agriculture. In the same way that, hey, recycle your plastic bottle so you can do good for the environment was actually started by, like, petroleum. Because they were like, plastic is a petroleum product. And they're like, yeah, the environment is because you guys aren't recycling it at all. It's not because, everything we're doing at massive scale. And, like, the land that goes into pumpkins for jack-o'-lanterns on the pie chart is probably indistinguishable. You probably can't even see it to what, like, those miles of, like, fields and, like, all the actual agriculture.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was a silly thing, but I just think it's hilarious now that, like, everything is like, that's bad for the environment. It's like, well, somewhere I gotta draw a line. Like, I'm gonna carve a pumpkin every year. I don't care. If I have to start growing them myself, I will. Because, I don't know I wonder how long it takes to grow a pumpkin. I wonder if it's like a full year, if you need longer than that.
Oh, no, I bet it's like 6 to 8 weeks. I bet it's less than 2 months.
I'm also curious, how many pumpkins are bought in the USA around
You gotta guess first.
Halloween? Okay, I'm not looking, but I searched it.
12 million.
Oh, I have to think it's more than that.
Yeah.
70.
Okay.
$73,400,000.
The person who's absolutely closest, not the Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
I'll change mine to 23 million.
Okay, they gave me a weight, so now we got to figure out what the average pumpkin weighs.
Come on. Why would they give a weight?
It's a big number. Is the average carving pumpkin
I'm going to ChatGPT.
weigh? It says 10 to 25 pounds, so we'll say 17 average.
This is a perfect question for ChatGPT.
Ha!
What's up?
So the weight it gave in terms of the how they word it. The USDA estimates that Americans purchase 1.3 billion pounds of pumpkins each year for Halloween. And it said the average carving pumpkins weigh between 10 and 25 pounds, so I averaged that to 17. 1.3 billion divided by 17, 76,470,000. And I guess 70.
It's way more than I thought. Yeah, you were definitely closest. The ChatGPT answer is each year in the United States about 1.5 billion pounds, close to what you said. Pumpkins are produced, and a significant portion of these, I wouldn't have guessed it's either, around 800 million pounds are sold for Halloween. So half, a little more than half of the pumpkin production is for Halloween. This translates to roughly 150 million pumpkins being sold for carving, decoration, and festivities. So that's even way more than your number.
Double than
that's
my number.
The point is, it can't be that many. Is maybe ill-conceived.
I guess I'm saying, like, there's a lot of pumpkins out there around this time. So, I mean, to produce 1.3 billion pounds of anything, or whatever, 1.8, whatever it said, 1.3.
150 million pumpkins being sold. Well, I guess that is... Okay, because I was thinking, like, a pumpkin per person is probably what it comes out to. As far as, like, the total production. Not, like... I never would have thought, like, half of all the pumpkins produced are going to people for Halloween. I never would have thought that.
I would have thought it would be well more than half. Like, I mean, yeah, some people make pumpkin bread or pumpkin pies, but, again, those are also different kinds of pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
So, just the fact we're producing that much of stuff for just a silly reason is...
Decoration, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that having an impact on the climate, but whatever, I'm carving a pumpkin.
The pumpkins are definitely the highlight of last night, and it's great that the Rockets won, but in between those two, as far as excitement and fun had, we watched Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, 1996 year, whatever year that was, I think 7. And they had the last vignette in that Halloween special was on the 1996 election.
Yep.
Clinton versus Bob Dole.
Yep.
And so much of it was still so valid and sensical for today's times. But the thing that made me laugh so much is, I mean, it's, the jokes about what's happening in current events, that's great. But even just, like, the Simpsons style of just, like, non sequiturs, of just, like, this is, like, Homer's such an idiot. I don't care if the spoilers is over.
No, yeah.
It's 28 years ago. And when I saw the 96 in my head, I was like, we're in 2024, it's 18 years ago. And then when I was like, no, 28, oh my god. That's not good.
I do my original math when you said 96 is like, wow, 18 years ago.
Yeah. We're a whole 10 years older than we think we are. Yep.
I mean, that's how I feel too, like mentally, like.
The favorite part that almost broke me. Homer discovers the alien secret plot or whatever, and then they're like, "We got to get rid of you." And I mean, this is just like classic Simpsons. This is like the menacing thing you think is going to be a laser or whatever that turns him into a pile of dust, just like shoots rum at him. And they're like, "Who's going to believe you now?" And then the next scene is at the house, and just Homer bursts through. And the first thing he says is something like, "Marge, you'll never believe it. I just caught the biggest fish I've ever seen."
Oh yeah, because he was originally out fishing on a little canoe before he got abducted.
And then I was abducted by an alien. It was like, I don't even know how to like talk about it. It's like he's just so unreliable. I guess. And then he just like goes into it lying about something he's not going to believe about anyways. It's just so funny. And that had nothing to do with like making fun of Clinton or Bob Dole. That was just like Homer Simpson being Homer Simpson.
Yeah, I've seen that episode dozens of times, if not more, probably. And I don't think I ever laughed that hard at that specific joke than I did last night because of just your response to it. And just, I guess I'd never thought about it, just like thinking back to in the episode, like, Marge probably knew he was out fishing and stuff, so like, he wanted to come in and save face and be like, yeah, I caught the biggest fish ever, but then... But then everything he said after that, like, the catching the biggest fish is like the most believable thing he says.
That's a great part of it too.
But it's the one lie of it all.
I just get to think of my dad watching it and how he would have just like loved it.
I want to catch up on The Simpsons. I haven't seen like the last probably like 8 seasons or something.
Yeah. Yep.
But
I've tried. I fall out. It's not the same as it was, Kelley.
no, I know. Nothing is. What else has been going on?
Oh, I don't know if I had a lot. Ash and I have landed on Halloween costumes.
Oh, snap.
Did she tell you that? I think she did.
If she did, I don't recall.
I don't want to spoil it. We'll post pictures on the next pod when I talk about it. But sometimes we don't know what we're doing until like the night before, and just like grab things from all over the house and like Ren Fair this and Mass Effect, sci-fi that. But it'll be good this year. Halloween on a Thursday. One day we'll put a smart TV on a wall mount in the garage and play like spooky stuff on the TV and do trick or treat out of the garage, but sticking to the regular come get your candy at the door this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it'd be really great for years like this when Halloween is on a Thursday night football. Because it'd be nice to be the guy on the street that just like, come parents, see the football game.
Yeah. We're probably going to do the standard, just put a bowl of some candy out front and just let them come and take it as they wish, and then look at all their costumes through the Ring camera and make sure nobody, like, we've never put out enough candy for someone to just take it all and then us just get screwed and then be out of candy. But for the most part, I think we've only had like maybe 2 times someone just emptied the bowl. Everyone else is pretty like has some manners.
The last time it happened was 2 years ago, and it was these 2 girls, like 8 and 9, dressed as princesses, like little pink dresses and all that. And I was like, you monsters! But it's also pretty late.
Yeah. I know a couple years ago we had Well, it looked to be probably like teenagers that I don't even think were dressed up. They just had like a bag or something with them.
No.
And they emptied the whole thing.
That's the aluminum after them.
Yeah, I mean, then we just shut it down after them.
Mm.
Because, I mean, they didn't come out until well late into the night.
Yeah.
So.
Really, they're doing a service. They think they're keeping dads from eating too much candy.
They don't think that. they're thinking, what suckers. I'm just glad no one's ever stolen the stool that we put the bucket on that we leave out.
Yeah. Or the bucket. I worry about losing our bucket.
Well, we don't use a good bucket. We have an emergency bucket just for emergencies. It's like we don't cook with or do anything with other than use it for the candy at Halloween, or if in the event like we have to like start storing water, like it's a bucket that we could use, or if we have to like do the whole manual flushing thing, it's like that kind of utility bucket.
Gotcha.
Started life as a pot, cooking pot, but now we just refer to it as the bucket. But yeah,
we got a nice plastic like tub, a Halloween tub.
I didn't even think about this, but probably need to like at absolute least clean up like the front patio of all the acorns and stuff before then.
Mm-hmm.
Don't need anybody like slipping or tripping and getting a lawsuit on our hands.
Can't have it. Can't win with it.
Mm-mm.
In football news, football world, we get the Dallas Cowboys back from bye on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
Just a casual game against our arch foes, the 49ers, in the Bay on the West Coast.
I feel like the Cowboys have multiple like arch enemies.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair and accurate.
Like I honestly like I wouldn't if I immediately think of three others that I think are bigger than the 49ers. But I'm also not a lifelong Cowboy fan, so I don't know the rankings of the...
Are you thinking of like our 3 division foes? Definitely you're thinking the Eagles, which is one. What was the other one you were thinking?
Eagles, Giants.
Yeah.
Commanders.
Yeah, those are just our division rivals,
Yeah.
Which, yeah, they're enemies, but then sometimes it's, brother versus brother, brothers against the world. Like, if the Cowboys don't make it and the Commanders go, I would still be like, yeah, I want the Commanders to beat the 49ers. I want all 4 of us to beat the 49ers, yes. That is true.
Is this a Nathan thing, or is this a Cowboys?
I think it's definitely in the big picture of Cowboys. The 49ers and the Steelers, I think, are the...
I wouldn't even have thought the Steelers.
It's because of the Super Bowl count.
Let's ask ChatGPT.
Who are the Cowboys' arch rivals?
Who are the Dallas Cowboys' biggest... That's not how you spell biggest, Kelley. Rivals in the NFL. What you got, chat? Alright, so it listed 5 teams in order 1 to 5. 1 is the Commanders, 2 is the Eagles, 3 is the Giants, 4 is the Niners, 5 is the Packers.
But I can imagine why. It was a catch.
So...
It was a catch, Kelley.
Yeah, so Steelers didn't even make that list. But that was basically my thoughts as to like their rivals.
I mean, we don't play the 49ers. I mean, recently we've been playing them every year, but we play the Eagles twice a year. We play the Commanders and Giants twice a year. The Eagles, I mean, the Commanders obviously have messed up seasons for us where like we were supposed to be the division champion. Good things were supposed to happen, and then the Commanders, who are having a terrible year, will just like eke a win by on us and like mess up our year. That's definitely happened. The Eagles, I feel like, kind of hate everybody And, like, yeah, we're rivals with them because they're in our division. But even if we only played them, like, every other year, still not like them because of the way that their fans are and who they are as a city and people and culture and belief system.
Shots fired.
And then the Giants, I feel more like pity and sympathy for than like when they're doing well, when they're doing Eli Manning things. It's like I'm almost proud of them more than I am upset with them. I was wondering when that was going to come in.
It's a little delayed, and plus there's a lot of buttons, so.
Is that an app or is that a website you can send to me?
It's an app.
Okay. And...
It doesn't even have lasers, though.
Well, I mean,
or the backing up sound.
That was one of my prerequisites. Yeah, or the backup sound. Record scratch?
DJ Rewind is what that one was called.
Alright.
Alright, this app is trash. I won't use it anymore.
But the 49ers have, like, messed us up in the playoffs, like, years on end. And, yeah, they've got that, 49ers are doing, I don't want to say it. That's definitely, I definitely had a two-bitter thought.
Share that one with me offline.
Nah, I don't want our enemies to cut what I was thinking and use it against us.
Yeah, because the 49ers social media is definitely checking.
They're out there.
Checking our podcast.
They're everywhere. It's Silicon Valley, Kelley.
They got AI bots going through and checking for any mentions of them.
They sure do. But yeah, that's who I consider like our arch rival. Sunday night, no Micah Parsons. No new running back. No new marquee running back. Don't get Deron Bland back. We're just gonna see what happens.
Is it home or away for the Cowboys?
Away. It's in
Ninerville.
Yeah. The Bay. For the Bay, as they say.
That should be fun.
Yeah. I'll have Fergie. We'll have Jake Ferguson playing in that game, thanks to you.
Oh, yeah. Definitely haven't gotten exactly what I wanted out of my plan to start trading all the players away.
I think there's definitely a sentiment that you like declared war on the league. Cursed us all.
See,
threatened us all with curse.
I didn't see it like that when I made that video. But then after I started getting responses, like a lot of similar, like, why did you do that? Like, I was like, no, that was a cry for help. That wasn't me trying to curse anybody. I'm trying to get out in front of it so the curse doesn't get on to any of y'all. I don't want that for any of us.
I really like the video. Or the effects you put on the video.
I had to pay $3.99 to get an app just to put those effects on, and then delete the app immediately after unsubscribe.
Awesome.
It was just the easiest, quickest way. Because the idea came to me, and like I just had to get it out of my head as quick as I could. So just like find whatever I needed the quickest. But yeah, that was a silly, fun little video. I thought it turned out pretty decent for what it was.
For sure. If we do a Zoom next weekend, which November 3rd we're scheduled to, you want to do like a recap of the season on everybody's part?
Can.
Cool.
If we just have the bandwidth to put all that together. Man. Time is just flying by.
Yeah.
Like,
we're having too much fun.
More so than normal, at least for me. And I think again that just goes back to like how busy I've been at work. Like, it was funny this past week. It got to Tuesday, and I was like, "How is it not already Friday?"
Yeah.
But then I get to Friday, and I was like, "How are we already done with the week?" So time has just been real weird for me. But October is just. Like, this is the quickest month of my life, it feels like, so far.
Definitely.
Like, the fact that you just saying, like, next weekend is November, I was just like, shit.
Yeah.
It's so soon.
Yeah, definitely weeks are zooming by for me. Like, I'll get to a Wednesday, and then basically be Monday. And then, yeah.
And it still isn't proper fall weather out yet either. I'm angry at it.
It's not like hot, but yeah,
It's annoying. It's like every day it's like I might go to 90, but we might just get real close. Which I think since I first told you that maybe that was going to be our last over 90 degree weather day, I think that might still be true, but we've gotten multiple like 89s.
Yeah, and with 89 with no clouds. So
yeah.
It's like, it still feels kind of hot.
Yeah.
If I stand in one place.
And I guess we're still, I don't think, scheduled for too much of a reprieve from it. I think we get a little bit, but...
Next Wednesday, I think we start getting rain and cooler temps. Lower lows, if not exactly lower highs.
You know, like today and tomorrow high is 90. Wednesday goes to 89, then 82, then 81, then 82, then 82, then 78. That also says it's going to rain for 6 days in a row, which I just don't believe at all. So
I would look forward to that.
I would absolutely love it. Like, I don't like it being sunny all the time.
Mm-hmm.
At all. It was funny, I was in a meeting with my team at work recently, and one of the people lives in Oregon, and she was just talking about how it's gray all the time there, and like that one day she said it was really sunny out, but for the most part it's really gray, and I'm like, that sounds so amazing. Like, I don't need to see the sun every day.
I like to be out with the sunrise, and it's definitely a big difference when there's clouds and there's not, and I definitely prefer the clouds.
Yeah.
Alright, well, want to call it an episode?
Holy crap. See, how did we even talk for 57 minutes already? I don't feel like we talked about much at all.
Yeah. Mostly just last night. I gotta get mostly just last night.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta get my hair cut, and all the estimated wait times are 2 hours. I'm trying to be working out in 2 hours.
Ugh. Yeah, I need a haircut so bad, but I'm just so lazy.
Alright, well, I'm gonna get on this.
Alright, well, everyone, if you made it to the end, you know the drill. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends, and have a happy Halloween, because you won't hear from us again until afterwards.
Enjoy your days. Thanks for listening to episode 101.
101.